Welcome back to Loving's Guitar. I never thought I'd really get to this. I'm thankful, actually, to get to this episode now because I've been actually having an episode in my life. Having lost a close friend of mine for a very good portion of my life that included lots of happiness. My friend, my former bass player in a group that I felt so good to be a part of. Um, my friend Felix Sebacious passed away. And, I've been grieving in my way. And I've been grieving a lot. And I'm still grieving. But I think he would be slapping me by now. You know, he would be telling me something about the Three Stooges or something, probably, or some wise wisdom passed on from Mr. Ed, or what would Grandpa say of the Munsters? Important stuff, things that, really touch home. And so I wanted to devote this episode as, to maybe some of the folks out there who know of my dear friend Felix Sebacious, the bass player. And then he actually became a lot of things afterwards, and actually even greater and more successful, way more successful. But I want to tell a story about some of the antics and whatever this amounts to. It is what it amounts to. But it is still about guitars, so we're not gonna delve that much into the story of my affection for this good man. Anyway, so it was 1986. My drummer and I, Todd Irwin and I, we got rid of our bass player. He was having issues. So I made a phone call I knew this one fella that we once jammed with, and we had a punk rock sort of touch with each other. We were like, I don't know, we had one jam session, and that was enough so that I was stuck in LA with Todd. I was in the middle of our self-proclaimed tour, and we were doing it. It was anyway. Long story short, we just kicked out our bass player, and and this is the days of there's no cell phones or anything like that. You got to go to a phone booth for everything. Anyway, I call up this fella, and it's great, because everybody's connected by a phone cord. Imagine that. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I get in touch with Stephen Weber, a fella mate of mine. We had met while driving cabs in New York City. And and as I said, we got a chance to jam out. And so when we picked him up at the airport in L.A. because literally I made one phone call, and about 24 hours later he showed up in L.A. Dropped everything he had, everything that he was doing in New York, and came with me to join the band. And the story is that the day before, truly that day when he came, we settled at this place. I think it was a place that Jane Chow had set up for us. I don't know, but we left the next day. Soon after that, there was a guitar that I was trailing along with me with all our equipment as my backup guitar, and it was a high-endy, handcrafted, all hand selected, the best of all the things like you could put into some pieces of wood. It was had everything. DiMarzio pickup, not DiMarzio, Seymour Duncan's, split coils. It was an early Kaler tremolo system. The body was made of alder. I mean, it was just like the best of the best. I mean, I paid a lot of money for. Point is, I hated that guitar. For some reason, I just couldn't connect. So it was punk rock Felix that convinced me I needed to downgrade. And so we went to this. There was no nearby music store that we could walk to because we were too cheap to put gas in the van to move that fucking van anywhere. Because sometimes we would have to siphon it out of other cars to go to another town or whatever. I kid you not. All right, so tastes disgusting. But then you can get further in life. Moving on with the story. So I found this. I found this. I don't know what store this was, but it wasn't far from where we were. And I saw a couple of used guitars, and then I tell the guy, "Hey, do you accept trades?" And he said, "Sure." So I went back up to the where we were hanging, and I picked up my guitar, and I go see if I can trade. And Felix says, "Where you going?" I said, "So I'm gonna see about selling this guitar." And he goes, "Oh, good idea, something like that. Good idea, because you don't do anything. That thing's a fucking anchor to you." I said, "You're right." So um, he came with me. He came walking with me, and I was already a long walk, but it was a good thing because I made his walk extra cool because he got to carry two guitars with me. Okay, so when we first meet, I tell you, really, my main guitar that I was actually felt so comfortable knowing that it is just a terror of what Low Meato, my band, would produce was this guitar right over here. Now, this guitar is I'm going to think it's a 1979 or 1980. The brand is Electra. I remember buying this and from this girl in uh, in Berkeley College of Music. this She was very folky, and I saw this and I go, "This is not folky for you." And I think I had something else that I was going to trade her. I think I might have traded her my Gibson ES 125. I don't know, it was something stupid, but I think we did an even trade or something. But the point is, I got this, and this turned out to be, we call this the ultimate punk rock vehicle, right? Yeah. No, this is the ultimate punk machine. Yeah, this is the ultimate. No, this is the ultimate punk. Yeah, or is that the ultimate rock machine? I don't know. This one of these. The story is this. My story changes often. All right, keep up with me, folks. I might require these videotapes for me to remember what I just said. All right, let's continue. All right. It's dusty for sure. Okay, so the pickups in here, they were so hot for the time. That's why it just I felt I was doing this girl a service by getting this guitar off of her. I wish I could do that for another friend of mine who actually kept his Strat. He loved his Strat, and it's the one thing I didn't. One of the guitars I just didn't feel. I had no connect. It made me want to not play a guitar. Oh, that's sad to say that about Ian Strat. But Ian, I love you. I love. Probably all the even your Nash. You had a dobro. Oh, I love this dobro. Anyway, back to this guitar. I'm getting off topic. Low Meato, that's what it is. Hi, folks. If you're getting a kick out of this channel, well, don't feel ashamed to support it. Follow it, hit a like, comment. Hey, if you remember being alive, like back in like the late '80s, and uh, the hardcore New York hardcore rock scene, Butthole Surfers, and Flaming Lips, that kind of era, early era, early, like, yeah, that agnostic funk, that kind of shit, then you're cool. Oh, well, now you're cool. Maybe you're cooler. I don't know. I'm just feeling. I'm just having a good time. Hey, listen, I slap everyone. Everyone get in line. All right, so let's continue with the show. So this is an Electra. I love this guitar, and you know why? I'll tell you why. First of all, because I'm a small guy. I'm not growing anymore past than 5'7". Actually, I've learned that I'm shrinking. Because I'm 61 years old. What do you think I'm going to do? Gravity is taking its toll. I got a big head. It's appearing bigger now because I'm getting smaller and smaller. Soon, I'm going to probably look like Mr. Potato Head with just feet at the bottom over here, like this. All right, let's continue on with the show. Really? Can we just go on? All right, so this is an Electra. I can't. I don't remember what it is. It's good wood, whatever it is. Hey, look at this. It's bolted on. I'm sure it's what does it say? Made in Japan. And there is a serial number 075311. Look at that. That's it. You can see it. I don't know. Can you see that? It doesn't matter. Believe me when I tell you. All right. So, hey, I'll tell you the reason why there's tape here. You want to know the reason? All right. And you know what? I don't care if you want to know the reason. I'm going to tell you. Tell it. Anyway. All right. So, God, this looks awful. And so this is the good old days of being on stage and getting carried away, beer flying around, people stage diving, you stage diving with your guitar. I stage dived a lot with this guitar. It was funny because back in those days, it was funny to stage dive, but imagine even funnier because back in those days, I keep on saying those days because those days didn't include the wireless transmissions that we have. There was so many more ways to get in trouble with being unplugged, having too much noise, feedback. Everything was way more on the line, being on stage back in the day. And this was like no different. So it looks to me like a very badassy type of bridge. I have a feeling that this I replaced to a badass or something badass. Uh, this doesn't look like I doubt it. I don't remember. I can't. Oh, maybe it could be. I don't know. So, I have to look at some of the pictures, but I have a feeling. I might have gotten trouble like in one city that I had to have a replacement. Yeah, I think this is the one. Yes, this is the one. I think. Yeah. And that's about it. Everything works. So back in those days, the '80s, I used to really not use my rhythm pickup at all. What I called the rhythm pickup back in the day. Well, all right. So over here, the poker chip. This would be what? It's not even a poker chip anymore. It's just a switch, folks. Just a switch. Hey, if you forgot the name of this guitar, because it's an Electra. I know it doesn't say it because I put the. All right. I'm not gonna get into this. It's punk rock. Back in the day, that's what they called it. I was doing it and playing it and singing about it. I was angry, but in a happy way. I still am. All right, so, folks, I apologize in advance if this is not making sense. You're the one that's stirring the sauce right now. All right, so listen, follow me. So, because I didn't use this pickup, and I did use this pickup, I used this switch as an on-off switch. So, when I was ready to play, it was all the way on, and when it was ready to shut off, it was off. So I needed a kill switch, and that's what I used it for. And here's my volume right there. This was really not to be used because it wasn't being used anyway by this thing. So if she leaves me this one right over here, that's my tone control. So my tone control is only controlling this pickup only. And I just thought that was a whole lot simpler. I didn't have anything else to deal about. Just leave it there. And you know what? If I needed to get a little louder, well, then just leave it there all the way. Just make sure that it's on 11 the whole time. All right. So, okay. So then this is just, you're screaming loud and you just want to just shut up. Just like that, you go right back on. Now, unfortunately, it's too bad the toggle switch didn't have like a soft dampener, like noise reduction. All right, because it's getting carried away. Oh yes! Now I'm going to get back to the focus of the whole reason why I wanted to point out to you why the tape. Okay, now the tape is old. I can see, but now it's stirring the memories because the memories they come in and they go out. For some of you, this might happen to you at an earlier time or maybe later time. Be conscious about these things and just make the best of what you got, of the memories you do have. On with the show. Hey, if you like this channel, don't get sad. Buy me a coffee. All right, so the tape. The tape, okay, so when I would play, I had this motion of playing like this. So my hand would strike this, and my pick would strike this. Okay. And so I think there was a reason because I think I I needed the ramp. That little ramp right there to keep me from breaking my strings. That's the reason why I put that there. And it did work a little bit. But they got me to this. next chapter. So I traded my high-end monster that I had at the time. That was probably built, I'm gonna guess, like in 1985 or 84. 1980, yeah, 1980, or maybe not. 83 or 84, 80, maybe 84. Okay, so that high-end monster I got, I got rid of, but in 1987 or 86, I should say. And I got this thing. So this is the guitar that was at this shop, and came by the name of Aztec. Look at that. Is that weird? What the hell is that? I go, hey, it looks like a Gibson 335. And look at the finish. It's a made in Japan. Oh yes, and I did get to destroy it on the first gig that I had with it. I got a little carried away, and I was feeling a kind of like a Pete Townsend moment, and I kind of knew that the guitar is a semi-hollow, so what would happen if I got a little too excited about being on stage, and I thought it was going to shatter, and I thought I gave it a good whack, but all I did was it just cracked. And okay, so that was punk rock back in the day, and I was feeling it. The next like 6 gigs I played still with this thing broken, and it was a lot. It was a lot. It looked to me like it was gonna get worse. It was really bad, and it was holding together for quite a long time. It was only recently that I actually uncovered everything that was once covered, because on the day that I brought this home from that shop, uh, I uh, I painted it flat black, and I put Cabbage Patch stickers, no, the gross stickers or something. I don't know. There's all these nice, like, silly patch stickers. I put it all. And I think I think it was written penis power on it or something hilarious on it. Oh, suck it. I don't know. It was terrible. I was punk rock, folks. I have an excuse. All right. So, um, and it was only recently that I was able to take all of that residue, the paint and everything off, and underneath, I remembered now what it looked like. And so there it is. What do you think? All right, so I want to bring you now to the majority of what made the real noise in Low Meato. Now, there are some people who are very familiar with this guitar. Beer Truck, if you're out there, Beer Truck was the fella who gave me the honor of having his services as being that fella, the guitar tech, the man who would protect my pedals from being stomped on while stage divers, were jumping off the stage, or if I were to jump off the stage, and he would make sure I was still plugged in, and then when I would come back on stage, he would make sure I was untangled live on stage. At the same time, stage divers were stage diving, and I could do what I needed to get done. But so thank you, Beer Truck. On stage with me during these times. This is this era's guitar right over here was my friend who recently passed away, Felix Sebacious. So this is the other guitar that I received when I traded my high-end custom-made Strat back in the day. So, and then I got this. So I got that semi-hollow body, the Aztec. Nobody ever heard of that. Anybody who knows anything about it, tell me about it. Leave me a comment. How many people know about that brand, the Aztec? Anyway, and this is the other one, the Hondo. Now the Hondo, okay. So again, just like my other guitar, I would use the. I didn't use my rhythm pickup or the neck pickup. My disposition was to me like an off position, and this was full on. And in here is where in my mind, this is where all the secret sauce is right here. Right here is I have my 57 Gibson 57 Classic PAF. That's it. So this is the original hardware that comes with that. It's all corroded now. Right? It's completely corroded now. You can see that. I don't know, can you see it? Can we see that? You see corrosion there? Isn't that wild? I don't know. Who see it? What camera sees it better? But anyway, so there you go. And this is a really well worn guitar, Hondo. This is definitely pre 2000s, okay? Definitely pre 90s, actually. And it could even be pre 80s. This is what I'm going to guess. Because, because I met this girl in Berkeley in 1980, and she had this guitar. No, she had the other guitar. She had the Electra. And soon after that, I was on tour. Oh, our self-proclaimed tour. No, actually, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm confusing you because I'm the one that's confused. All right, so this guitar was my pre-Low Meato days, my early punk rock days, Double R and some other groups. And this was the main Low Meato guitar right over here. This was then would become my backup guitar, right? And this guitar was my backup guitar until the first day, my first gig with her, when I got a little too carried away and I split the back. But she was always still. I still carried her along with me to several other gigs, even with a broken back shell of a back. Um, I played Bogarts in Cincinnati with this thing. Um, but this is the guitar that, if back in the day people would remember seeing the band on stage, this was most likely the guitar you were seeing. My Hondo with a 57 Classic pickup, PAF. And that's the only pickup I use. I didn't use this pickup. Now, when I recorded um, the album is actually initially recorded mostly with a Guild Brian May model. But there are some parts in I believe it's Benoit balls and penis power, if I'm not mistaken. That despite having that fancy guitar, I had to go to this thing to get some sound, like something that made it make it right in my mind. Um, so again, I had, even at that time when I was doing the album, I did have access to like expensive, cool guitars, beautiful sounding, beautiful feeling, but they just weren't for me. This became my serious workhorse. Um, and I didn't want to let people know that it was a Hondo. Most people thought it was whatever it was. And if they wanted to know, I would tell them. And then after the show, they'd be like, holy crap, that's a fucking Hondo. I go, not exactly, because I think it's about this thing. So I think in memory of Felix Sebacious, because I don't want to get too far off topic. Um, I think it was this time that I moved to the 57 pickup. I think we were at Manny's once, and I picked up a guitar, and it was a Gibson, and already I knew, I liked Gibsons. I had Gibsons before, um, but then I was trying to still, learn what all the pickups were, and finally, I asked the sales guy. It's like, what pickups? What kind of pickups? Is there a model? And he said, yeah, It's like just a 57 classic PAF. Your regular, ordinary classic PAF. Huh. All right. I think there was a sale going on, like a swap sale in the Lower East Village. Showed up there one day. I was lucky enough to be there. And it was around 1987 now, early 87, and I got these, and I put them in. I took because they had another one just like this. There was a pickup that looked just like that over here too, and I took that out, put that in, and I said, "Hey boys, we got a tiger that just joined the band." Oh man, is that still do it, right? Now, this was always fighting me with feedback. Oh, you gotta love that fight, right? Shake that up. Oh man, let me just shut that up. Right? Seriously. Plug this in. Yeah, there we go. That sounds very Low Meato. There we go. Yeah, that's very Meato. Okay, so there you go. I mean, really, did we need to go? For those who like. There. Okay. Sorry if I get a little carried away. I'm kind of like reconnecting with this. It's a guitarist thing. Some people say that how can this low endy type. Back in the day, a Hondo is considered very low endy. Like how dare you show up on stage with a Hondo? The group before you played Fenders and Gibsons and well, the really like Paul Reed Smith and the big name like the Charvels and stuff. They weren't really. Yeah, they were out, but they weren't really out. Not like like Gibsons and Fenders, the Gretschens, the Gills, and even the Epiphones. No, actually, Epiphone was still considered, unless until people started looking at them. Now, I think they deserve to be looked at. Epiphones are good. Actually, many times, actually, I hate to say this, folks, but I challenged the Gibson. And I'm a Gibson lover, too. So, but I'm not talking about my Gibsons today. We're talking about this thing. Look at this thing. This is a Hondo, okay? Now, I have Gibsons. Yes, I do. Yes. But this is the one that actually got me through uh, many gigs. I played this guitar. So, for those people who are, well, my close friends who remember this guitar, and there's some beauty shots for you so you can see. It's a little old and it's been around the block. Oh, yes, and there it's written Low Meato on there in the back. Just in case it would get stolen, then you have to go through the embarrassment of having these stickers placed on it. So until you rip it off, of course, and just find out it's just a Hondo. So, all right? So, a Hondo that served a great purpose. All right, so let's move on to the next one. What else do we got here? Oh, what is this? This? This thing. Oh, God. All right, so yeah, I'm smart enough not to have this thing like plugged in, so that you hear all these chirping sounds. But sometimes I make mistakes. Okay, I'm gonna put the amp on. Make sure that the amp is on, because these kind of guitars back in the day, they made a lot of racket. So chances are, if I just go like, there we go. Hello, it's just feedback. Yes. And if you could talk into it, hello, hello, do you hear me? Hi, hi. Are you home? I know I am. Bye. So that it was very difficult. So back in the day, you really needed an on-off switch, and this was definitely the type of vehicle that you would be required to have an on-off switch, because, God forbid, the feedback was out, the pigs are loose, they're making crap everywhere, everyone's dirty, everybody wants to put their, their hands over their ears because it's terrible. It's all that squealing. Nowadays people love that kind of stuff. All right, so, you were just born too early to be so cool. Yes, we had to grow up and just get withered away to finally understand and appreciate the beauty of just, just a hello. It's me. I'm back, like feedback. I'm going to annoy you. You have to deal with me forever. Yes, I will. So what's wrong with feedback? I don't know about you, but that's just loud and angry. It just does. It does what it's supposed to do. It always has. So this is an old guitar right here. It looks brand new because I really haven't really tortured it, except for when that first day that I painted it all flat black, and covered it with stickers. And there is some other bits and scrapes. Oh, and so there is a story about this guitar too. So it did make a short-lived rescue by use of a bubble gum. Yes, folks. I had the band. I kid you not. Now, unfortunately, one of the band members has passed away. To verify this, and that would be Felix. But Todd, myself, and I, we chewed gum. We collected the gum because we needed to save this guitar. So we had put all this gum in there, and we smushed it in there, and I actually put some tape there. I think some tape. I held it in place, I think there was we had like 2 days between the next show, and it didn't quite hold up, but it got worse. I mean, not during that time. It actually held up. It now I cleaned it all up, so now it needs to be actually properly repaired. Because I found that I actually do like this guitar. Um, it's not about the name on the guitar. Seriously, folks, we got to get over this thing. That it's about like don't no, I don't pick up a guitar unless it's like the top 5 brands, 10 brands, 20 brands, a brand that you heard of, a brand that someone else has heard of. What if it's a brand you never heard of, or no one's ever heard of, or if it looks like well, I don't know, but it's just your assumption that everything's got to suck unless it has a superior name above all other names. Yeah, I guess that's for namesake. Because there are also good things in a name, and that's the reason why you get these things. Because they have a certain name on it, like a Gibson, a Fender, Epiphone. But no, that's not the reason why I get them, folks. Currently, if you ask me, this is my rock vehicle right here, my Epiphone Flying V58. This thing is just a mega beast. I'm sorry, Low Meato guitars, but if Low Meato was still around, this is what Low Meato would be using. I swear, I kid you not. Because hell, look at even my Dopey Love video. What was I playing? I was playing Ibanez Flying V. It was 1991, 91, 92. I don't know. This. One thing about Flying V's, you really don't play them seated. See what can happen. Oh, see, I really can't play seated. All right, so hey, thank you for watching. That was part of the. I guess I don't know. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with the shenanigans. And I have to tell you a little bit about those Low Meato guitars. I don't know why the Flying V came in. I just maybe I do these things unscripted. And I don't even know what I'm gonna say usually. Sometimes I get inspired to say things and I don't record. This time, I was inspired to say something. I've been thinking about my friend Felix. So these are the guitars that I played on stage with my buddy Felix. And except for the Flying V. But I'm sure he would have gotten a kick out of hearing that. Alrighty. Hey, thanks for watching. Thank you so much. See you in the next time I get all choked up about a guitar. And that's gonna happen soon again because I get those urges. All right, bye.